Alright boys, what's up? It's yours truly, Mr. Lang. I'm gonna make a quick video. I really have to go, but I felt bad. I'm like, man, this would be a cool job to get a video on. So I'm coming back out to make a video. We've done this whole house with a Downstream injector, which is this right here. And it pulls chem from there when we spray. So when we spray with the soap tip, with our J-rod tip, which is equivalent to the black tip, we spray, it pulls whatever we have in that bucket. We're spraying straight SH or 50-50, meaning half water, half SH. So for the house wash, it's 50-50. For like, you know, and sometimes we just, it's whatever, we spray 50-50 on anything, but you really only need half and half for like vinyl and stuff. When it's this hot out, it's more than enough for cleaning. Keep in mind, every injector is always a little bit different. So anyway, I don't want to get too into that just yet, or this time around. I'm going to make a video kind of more on the technical side of things, but I don't want to get into it for right now. So moving forward, this is the house. This is all cleaned up. We got some bleeders up here that we're going to rinse, but this house was all dirty. Gutters were black and stuff. Siding was getting green, but he also had this stone, the bottom around the house. So I don't know why this is like spotted, but we've treated it with a 50-50 SH in a pump-up sprayer. So again, this whole place has been done with the Downstream injector and a pump-up sprayer. Downstreaming straight SH on the stone cleans it up really well. On the stamped concrete, cleans it up really well. Even the even like this stuff, it killed a lot of this big clumpy moss. But we're gonna pressure wash that off a little bit and then spray 50-50 from a pump-up sprayer onto the stone. Now when you're downstreaming, you gotta realize you're pulling water, like the power washer sprays water, like 4 gallons a minute, 5 gallons a minute, 8 gallons a minute, whatever size power washer you have. And then the Downstream injector is, there's so much water coming out that it creates a suction, so it's sucking out at like a 10-to-1 ratio or a 15-to-1 ratio. So meaning every 10 gallons of water you spray, it's gonna pull a gallon of whatever you have in that bucket along with it. So it's, by the time it comes out of your gun, it's weak. It's very weak. But with a pump-up sprayer, you can apply a direct application. So the pump-up sprayer, you're spraying exactly 50-50 strength. 50% water, 50% SH directly. But if your Downstream injector is 10-to-1 and you have straight SH in your bucket, in your Downstream injector bucket, then you're only, then it's it would be the same as making a pump-up sprayer with 1 part SH and 10 parts water. Does that make sense? I hope it does. This was tricky. So this is a screened-in porch. Inside is stamped concrete. But the stain is like an oil-based stain, I believe, or something. It was tricky though. So basically what we did is we rinsed the screens really well from the outside and the inside, got everything wet inside, rinsed all this stuff off really well. Concrete rinsed. I had my guys squeegee all of it out. And then when we had to spray, when we had to downstream, which was, we really were only worried about these gutters and stuff. We downstreamed and we got the peak up here, but overspray and gravity caused it all to come here. So we essentially had to spray this stuff too. And I warned our client it's gonna lighten it up. And I also warned him, I don't know what kind of stain that is, but it might come off a little streaky. I said, it's probably not gonna look super awful or anything, but it might, it's likely gonna change the color, the look of this wood. So if you really like this dark, aged looking wood, we probably should just skip your porch altogether. And he said he wouldn't mind too much if it got lightened up, so we were good to go. I communicated with them and asked them to move all this stuff prior, which they did, so we're good there. Everything's really good. Oh, so He also wanted us to clean the stamped concrete. This has not been cleaned yet, but again, we're just downstreaming straight SH. Now remember, downstreaming, we're not just spraying 12% SH on everything. It's diluted. So for easy math purposes, you got, let's say we're using 10%, we use 12.5% strength bleach, but let's say we're using 10% strength, right? And then let's say our downstream injector pulls about a 1-to-10 ratio. That would mean we're only spraying a 1% strength, okay? If we're pulling straight SH from our downstream injector, that would mean the strength that's actually being applied is only 1%, okay? But if we had a pump-up sprayer, which was half water, half SH, and a pump-up sprayer, and we're spraying it directly, that would be a 5% strength application, because we're cutting the 10% bleach in half with water. So, I hope that makes sense. I've been having a lot of questions. I know some guys understand that, but a lot of guys don't. I know I didn't when I first started, so hopefully that's helpful. Up here in this corner, we had a bird's nest, and it was very clear there was birds in it. There was mama flying in and out, and little bird squeaks. So we skipped this area at first, and then we grabbed a 32-foot ladder. We went up there, well, Devin did, went up there, grabbed the bird's nest with a bucket. Went up there with a 5-gallon bucket, grabbed the bird's nest, and put it over here. I'm curious if mom came, so hopefully a bird doesn't fly out at me. Bummer. Mom's not back yet, but they have a better chance of living like that versus us spraying bleach up there, you know what I mean? So, here's another thing. These retaining walls, they were black, nasty, grody. We sprayed it downstreaming, straight SH. Downstreaming, straight SH. All on this stone. And it cleaned it up nice, and then we went through with the pump up and treated more tougher areas like this. And then he's gonna just use some pressure and get the tops. Basically told him just focus on the tops, get these looking nice. See the heavy lichen up here? It's all dead, but have it, get it off. And but I told him, we're not gonna focus on all these nooks and crannies. We'll try to get a lot of it off, don't get me wrong, but we'd be here forever trying to blast off every little piece of lichen, when in reality, it's dead. We've killed it. It's completely white. It's completely dead. Just give it a few weeks, and that stuff will dry up and literally just flake off. We just got to give it a little time to fully die and release them roots. Oh, and side note about the chem. The example I was given earlier, 10% cut in half with a pump-up sprayer per se. So we put 10% bleach in a pump-up sprayer, 50% water, and then 50%, 10%. That would bring it down to 5% strength. 5% strength application is the strongest you should ever need to go. For us, I guess it would be 6% because we use the 12% strength, and we'll cut it in half, 50-50 sometimes, but even that's just overkill. And it's hard to work with. It's very, the fumes are rough. Even if you have a respirator and stuff, that's bad for your skin. You shouldn't need to go any stronger than that. Really, we should be diluting our chem a little more, but as long as we're careful with it, don't let anything dry, it's all right. We don't get super into the measuring aspect. But yeah, this looks great. So I had him focus on the tops. You got all that the grody stuff off the tops, and there is some little dead lichen and stuff on the stone, but like I said, it's going to weather off. And we'll tell our client that, we'll communicate it clear with them, and we'll say, look, everything's been treated, everything looks a million times better. Like from a distance, it looks completely perfect, no black or nothing, but if you get close, you'll see like the lichen. But we'll tell them like, hey, give it a month tops. If that stuff ain't flaked off and gone, we'll come back out here on our own time and we'll get rid of it for you, but it just don't make sense to charge you extra in labor to get all that stuff off when we know it's going to come off pretty soon, and they always respect that. We got copper top, so just really pre-wet and rinse really quick. This is one of those jobs where there's a lot of back and forth. You really want two guys here, you know, okay, go turn that injector off real quick or whatever. Or turn it on, make me more chem. We went through a lot of chem. Actually, with this job, we went through 35 gallons of SH, believe it or not. Now, I mean, I could see it, I guess, but they were treating, they did really good. Just lots of nooks and crannies, right? So up in the porch, let's see, up in the porch, this was a situation here. Man, people flying on this truck. It's kind of lifted up, but when we were rinsing, mouse droppings just pouring out. I mean, a ton. So stuff like that, you don't want to just comb over it. Look at it, it's just bleeding, and we can't stop it. Just clean this stuff, cleaned up really nice. When I came out here before, I had to tell them we had to redo this because like pillars and stuff, it's hard to get your guys to really get that down because you have to hit it from every angle from the outside and then hit it from every angle from the inside. You'll be surprised how much you'll miss if you don't really focus on them pillars. So, you know, I guess what I try to stress to my guys is you're gonna wow the client. Like, they're gonna come out, it's gonna look amazing. It's gonna look 10 times better than what it did. But is it the best we can do? You know, that's why when I come out and they kind of, you can tell they might be a little aggravated or something because I might be being too meticulous. But the fact is, when I do it, it comes out. That's how I do it, and it's not hard. It's just taking a little extra time and really getting that chem in those nooks and crannies and really paying attention to detail. And you know, for anyone who's stuck in a mindset where like, oh, if the client thinks it looks good, then it's good enough. That's not true, because have you ever been in a situation where maybe you're getting a haircut or whatever it is, and you know, they're all done and they ask you, what do you think? How do you like it? Maybe at first you liked it, or maybe you don't like it and you don't want to offend them. So you say, oh, it looks nice. You can't just take a client's word for it. You have to take the time and check everything out and make sure it turns out perfect. What's up, Devin?
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Touching up the spots.
Right on. We about ready to get out of here or what?
Yeah, pretty much there. Probably within the next 15, 20 minutes.
Sweet. You could almost spray in these cracks. I see like a little green in the cracks. All right, I'll let him do his thing. So that's our walk around, boys. I got a phone call. That's why we kind of just got cut off there, by the way. But yeah, what I was saying is basically just because the client says it looks good on first impression isn't always acceptable. You need to look at it, and if you know that you can get something looking better, or if you know you missed a spot, don't try and just see if maybe they won't notice or whatever. That's not cool, because they might notice and they might not say anything, or maybe they don't notice but they're going to. They live there, for Christ's sake. So maybe they didn't notice it first take, but then after you leave and they can kind of get a little more relaxed and inspect it more, they might start noticing stuff you took shortcuts on. So always exceed expectations, boys. I gotta get going. I just took an extra 10 minutes to do that, and I needed to get out of here. And my truck's running. Hasta la vista, baby.